Okay, we're on though.
Okay.
Okay. Hi,
Hi.
this is Kim,
This is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book. But first, we have 365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean, and today is May 2nd.
And we're going to hear from Red Jacket, Sago Yawata, Seneca.
Seneca, 1811.
We like our religion, and we do not want another.
We don't want another religion. Keep your religion.
Yeah.
Don't bother. Duh, right? I mean,
And did you know there is often a set protocol for how to search for wild plants for medicinal uses? Often the rules include showing respect and thanking the plant for its sacrifice. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's customary to take scissors and just cut the plant off above the ground, the part that you need,
Right.
but to leave the root structure in place so that it can regrow.
So that it can regrow, yeah.
And not to rip it out of the ground, roots and all.
And this business of telling whether it's a male or female plant, and the female plants you kind of leave alone because they're making the buds when we're collecting sage. I remember that, and I learned, oh gosh, I don't know if I could do it now, but they were showing me how to recognize that. I remember a couple of years ago, a female and a male plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't think of plants having gender usually, do you?
Not usually.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, and then we have the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, translated by Derek Lin. And we are on chapter 10 here for this one. Okay. You turn on your light.
Yeah.
I think this light helps. It helps the light here too.
Mm-hmm.
Helps him see us too. Okay.
In holding the soul and embracing oneness, can one be steadfast without straying? In concentrating,
Straying refers to deviating from centered oneness caused by the distractions of the material. Some translations render it as separation or division, thus obscuring the original meaning and making these lines more difficult to understand. Okay, but it's not about like just being like deviant or being, being conventional. It means right, being distracted. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In concentrating the energy and reaching relaxation, can one be like an infant?
The energy to be concentrated is chi, the breath or energy that courses through all living things. This is a clear instruction on using breathing techniques to achieve a deep level of relaxation where the body is as soft and pliant as that of an infant. A deep level of relaxation. Okay.
In loving the people and ruling the nation, can one be without manipulation?
I think you skipped.
I think I skipped that one. That went with the one before it.
Nope.
In cleaning away the worldly view. Okay. In cleaning away the worldly view, can one be without imperfections? In loving the people and ruling the nation, can one be without manipulation?
These lines may seem to be directed at kings and emperors, but they actually address the individual as well. Think of the kingdom as a metaphor for your workplace, family, social circle, sports team, and even your immediate surroundings, and the practical utility of this section becomes clear. So when we're talking about the nation and loving people and ruling the nation, so the nation, it could be like your home, right? Or your workplace. Okay.
Can one be without manipulation?
Oh.
Okay. In the heavenly gates opening and closing, can one hold to the feminine principle?
Okay. The feminine principle refers to the yin principle of serenity and quietude. The opening and closing of the gate refers to the mind in motion and at rest. Together, these two lines describe a mental state that remains tranquil even when thought processes are active, a state that is simultaneously peaceful and dynamic. That's the key of it, right? So that's that yin and yang working together. So you hold to the yin even while you're doing stuff with your mind or when you're doing stuff with your body, right?
Right.
Because think of yang is in the perimeter and yin is in the center, in the middle.
Is that part of being in the flow?
It's being in the flow, but being peaceful in your
Balance.
mind, having this balance, and being active at the same time. You know what? You are marvelous at that because you do stuff and you're peaceful while you're maintaining your things. Me, I'm more like it's harder for me. I go out like I'm in a frenzy and it's like, oh my God, I got to do stuff, right? And then when I come home and then I just crash and then I'm like, okay, I'm closing the gate. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit. Okay. So, but being both at the same time, that's something that I need to work on to try to maintain that instead of just having this burst of rush of something and then this crash. Right. So, but I observe you doing that incredibly well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bearing it, rearing it.
Wait. No, where are we at? Number 4? No. Okay. In understanding
clearly all directions, can one be without intellectuality?
Okay. Keep going to the end.
Bearing it, rearing it, bearing without possession, achieving without arrogance, raising without domination. This is called the mystic virtue.
Right. Okay. And I just want to point out here, can one be without intellectuality? Like, okay, so I always say, well, I'm an intellectual and all this stuff. It's not discounting the value of being smart or being, intellectual. It's discounting that you use that to make yourself superior to people, right? So it's like it's good to be smart, but everything is how you use that. And remember, in ancient China, there was a lot of people. They'd have civil service exams and all of these things, and that was really a thing. So they had people that were superior, and they really used their position that way. And that's what he's frowning on. Not so much as just being smart and learning. Yes, be smart, learn, and share what you know, but don't make other people feel inferior about it, right? Okay, I'm going to read section 5 here. Sages emulate the mystic virtue in their interactions with other people. They nurture, encourage, teach, and mentor those around them without the need to possess, gloat, or dominate. Right? That's exactly it. Okay. That's what he's talking about. Okay.
Good words today.
Very good. To live by. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to look at our Urantia book.
We're on paper 44, part 1, The Celestial Musicians.
Yes, the Celestial Musicians. A little bit more than a page. Okay. Should I go or you go?
You start.
Okay. With the limited range of mortal hearing, you can hardly conceive of Urantia melodies. There's even a material range of beautiful sound recognized by the human sense of hearing, not to mention the inconceivable scope of Urantia and spirit harmony. Spirit melodies are not material sound waves, but spirit pulsations received by the spirits of celestial personalities. There is a vastness of range, and a soul of expression, as well as a grandeur of execution associated with the melody of the spheres that are wholly beyond human comprehension. I have seen millions of enraptured beings held in sublime ecstasy, while the melody of the realm rolled in upon the spirit energy of the celestial circuits.
Wow.
Right. These marvelous melodies can be broadcast to the uttermost parts of a universe.
Wow.
The music of heaven can be broadcast, so you can pick up that, and this makes me think of um like autistic people sometimes they have synesthesia, so they can see music. You know what I mean? Like it's colors to them. Some things, some music sounds like this color or that color, or it'll make them taste something when they hear something, right?
Wow. That's amazing.
I don't know. I don't really have that, but not so much. But yeah, okay. Okay, broadcasting. Okay, the celestial musicians are occupied with the production of celestial harmony by the manipulation of the following spirit forces. 1. Spiritual sound, spirit current interruptions. 2. Spiritual light, the control and intensification of the light of the Urantia and spiritual realms. 3. Energy impingements, melody produced by the skillful management of the Urantia and spirit energies. 4. Color symphonies, right?
Wow.
Melody of Urantia color tones. This ranks among the highest accomplishments of the celestial musicians. 5. Harmony of associated spirits. The very arrangement and association of different orders of Urantia and spirit beings produce majestic melodies. 6. Melody of thought. Your thoughts have a melody.
Wow.
Sometimes the thinking of spiritual thoughts can be so perfected as to burst forth in the melodies of Havana. 7. The music of space. By proper attunement, the melodies of other spheres can be picked up on the universe broadcast circuits. There are over 100,000 different modes of sound. Over 100,000 modes of sound, right? Color and energy manipulation techniques analogous to the human employment of musical instruments. So they're saying like there's over 100,000 different kinds of musical instruments in heaven.
Well, your ensembles of dancing undoubtedly represent a crude and grotesque attempt of material creatures to approach the celestial harmony of being, placement, and personality arrangement. The other 5 forms of Urantia melody are unrecognized by the sensory mechanism of material bodies.
Okay, look at that. Okay, so they're really cutting down our your dancing is crude and grotesque attempt of material creatures to approach the celestial harmony of being, placement, and personality arrangement. Well, right. So our dance is. I know. It's so sad, isn't it? But anyway, I want to see how they dance up there.
Harmony, the music of the 7 levels of melodious association, is the one universal code of spirit communication. Music such as Urantia mortals understand attains its highest expressions in the schools of Jerusalem, the system headquarters, where semi-material beings are taught the harmonies of sound. Mortals do not react to the other forms of Urantia melody and celestial harmony. Appreciation of music on Urantia is both physical and spiritual. and your human musicians have done much to elevate musical taste from the barbarous monotony of your early ancestors to the higher levels of sound appreciation.
Right. So this is interesting to me because, everybody says, I mean, it's common to say, well, this is my style of music, or this is your style of, you know what I mean? Because you listen to whatever's preference. So there's nothing wrong with listening to whatever your preference is. But this is telling me definitely there is music that's elevating, that's better for us, and there's music that's not as, like, if you listen, like the plants, like, right, if you play classical music for them, they grow. But if you play like heavy metal music
Mhm.
for them, they don't grow as good, stuff
Mhm.
like that, right?
The majority of Urantia mortals react to music so largely with the material muscles and so slightly with the mind and spirit.
Ah,
But there have been a steady improvement in musical appreciation for more than 35,000 years.
right. So the music that we appreciate makes us want to move our muscles instead of, but they have music that will make us want to think about highest thoughts and feel the greatest emotions, and kind of connect with, okay, I'm sorry, I'm like, but this makes me, just turns me on, I guess.
Tuneful syncopation represents a transition from the musical monotony of primitive man to the expressful harmony and meaningful melodies of your later day musicians. These earlier types of rhythms simulate the reaction of the music loving sense without entailing the exertion of the higher intellectual powers of harmony appreciation, and thus more generally appeal to immature or spiritual indolent individuals.
All right, this was they're saying, spiritually indolent individuals. So this earlier types of rhythm stimulate reaction, right, without entailing the exertion of the higher intellectual powers. So there is a type of music that's prevalent here that is only appealing to people who are spiritually indolent.
Hmm.
Okay, so this sounds like condescending and sort of,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, right? Doesn't
Mhm.
it?
All that.
But I mean, I'm not about to go out there and try to sort out who's spiritually indolent and who's not.
No.
Okay, no, that's not my place. But there is such a I don't want to say classification because that implies that it's fixed, but um, there is this assortment of kinds of individuals or what they're experiencing now. Not that you can't grow out of being spiritually indolent. Okay, but there is a lower stage of progression and a higher stage of progression. And I think as we grow spiritually, we'll be able to recognize that. And that's very reassuring to me because I'm always this person who I can't sort out what's valuable from what's not valuable. That's one of my main things, one of my main things, how I get down on myself. Okay, so I have to aspire to try to do that, and it's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to do that, but as long as you don't because you don't know, somebody that's spiritually indolent now might develop years later to be superior to me. I don't know what that progression is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to really be careful about how I treat even, you know people who I can see aren't as developing. They might be well developed in a different way than me too. Like you have, like I complimented you that you're able to balance that yin and yang part of the action and the internal peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
um together,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, and that's better, you know what I mean? There could be people that are better at some things than I am, and then I could be better at some things, like grasping higher um types of meaning or something like that. But that's all only part of it. There's not, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's all part of it. So we can help each other because you're better
Mhm.
at some things than me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm probably better at exploring a higher range of philosophical crazy ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So the most important thing is just how we treat each other, and we don't see things, always see things in motion and not fixed on, this is what it is, this is what God meant it to be, it's always going to be this. That's not true at all. And this is dynamic process, and we just see what comes in, and I have to get better at sorting things out. That's what I have to get better at. Okay, we have to go.
The best music of Urantia is just a fleeting echo of the magnificent strains heard by the celestial associates of your musicians, who left but snatches of these harmonies of Urantia sound harmonics. No,
More on
who
to
left
sound
but snatches of these harmonies of Morantia forces
on
record as
Yeah.
the musical melodies of sound harmonics. Spirit Morantia music does not infrequently
Not infrequently.
employs all 7 modes of expression and reproduction, so that the human mind is tremendously handicapped in any attempt to reduce these melodies of the higher spheres to mere notes of musical sound. Such an effort would be something like endeavoring to reproduce the strains of a great orchestra by means of a single musical instrument.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay, so we don't do that. We incorporate a lot of different things in our music.
Mhm.
The human mind is tremendously handicapped in any attempt to reduce these melodies of the higher spheres to mere notes and musical sound.
You mean like ba ba ma ma ba ba ma 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 ba ba ma.
Okay, guys, this is Andrew Unleashed today, right? Yep, yep.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Because I fed him pancakes today. That's why he's so like,
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, okay. Okay. While you have assembled some beautiful melodies on Urantia, you have not progressed musically nearly so far as many of your neighboring planets in Satania. If Adam and Eve had only survived, then would you have had music in reality? But the gift of harmony, so large in their natures, has been so diluted by strains of unmusical tendencies that only once in 1,000 mortal lives is there any great appreciation of harmonics. I think Simon and Garfunkel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Sound of silence. Mm-hmm.
I think they did harmony. And of course, what do I know? I mean, I think that, but that's once in 1,000 lifetimes, 1,000 mortal lives. Okay, so I think they're 1 in 1,000,000. I love Simon Garfunkel, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay, but be not discouraged. Someday a real musician may appear on Urantia.
Whoa.
Christina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Christina Seaborn is a real musician. She has appeared, I think. Yeah. And whole peoples will be enthralled by the magnificent strains of her melodies. One such human being could forever change the course of a whole nation, even the entire civilized world. What music could do.
Wow.
It is literally true. Melody has power for a whole world to transform. Forever, music will remain the universal language of men, angels, and spirits. Harmony is the speech of Havana.
Wow. I like that.
Makes me wish I would have learned the piano. Yeah, they taught me piano when I was little, but I didn't keep it up. You better get after your guitar and those drums.
I better.
Okay, so that's what we got for you today.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for being with us. All right, have a great one.
Have a great Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
See,